Hi math friends. Today we're going to be working on solving multi-step equations. It's going to be the first part of this because it is a more involved skill. One thing we need to remember is the distributive property because that will come into play here. So the distributive property has a number or a quantity multiplied by another number or quantity, and that's usually inside of parentheses. So recall how to simplify this first to make things easier on us. That's what simplify means. We distribute, we multiply 3 times 2x. So 3 times 2 is 6. So that's 6x. 3 times 1, and that's a minus 1 or negative 1. It's going to be negative 3, so I write minus 3 to show that. All right. After we do this, so we'll have a two-step equation just like we did before. So after we distribute, so things will be simplified. So we can solve an equation like we are used to solving. We're always trying to get it down to be in a simple form, so it always looks like something that we're familiar to at some point. Let's look at some examples. So remember first, before we start solving any equation like this, we draw a line down the equal sign. And then we're going to go ahead and start solving this. So first step I need to do, I see these parentheses here. So first step, I'm going to distribute. You might also see sometimes it's saying apply distributive property. It depends what kind of source we're looking at. It might just say distribute. So I have negative 5x, and then I multiply by 7. So negative 5 times positive 7, I'm going to have a minus 35 or a negative 35. On the right side, I still have 105. There was nothing to do with this number right here. So I still have 105. All right. So now it looks like a two-step equation again. So just like before, I see a minus 35. I need to remove that to isolate the x. So I'm going to add 35, and remember to both sides to keep the equation balanced. So now it should look similar to what we've done before in class. So instead of minus 35, I'm going to do plus 35 on both sides, like so. Then these are inverses, so I just have negative 5x. And then on the right side, I have 140. And now negative 5 is the coefficient of x, so I'm going to divide both sides by negative 5. So when we do that here, divide by negative 5. Do that here, divide by negative 5. I get x. And remember when I think of this, I think of 140 divided by 5 first. So it's going to be 28. And then there's one negative. There's an odd amount of negatives, so it's going to be negative 28. And remember, we can check this at the end too. We can substitute negative 28 in for x. So in our original equation on the left side, that expression will be a negative 28 instead of x. Okay. Inside the parentheses, negative 28 plus 7 is negative 21. Using order of operations, I know I can do inside the parentheses first. And then if I multiply negative 5 times negative 21, I do get 105, which makes both sides of the equation true. So 105 equals 105. Let's look at one more example. I'll draw my line down the equal sign. Always, always, always do that first. Next, I'm going to look here and I see parentheses. So I'm going to apply the distributive property. Remember, based on where we look, it might say apply the distributive property, it might just say distribute. So we always have to be mindful of what's going on there and what it says. So applying distributive property here, we're going to multiply 2 times 3x So 2 times 3x is going to be 6x. 2 times 4 is going to be a positive 8. They're both positives. 68 stays over here. Sometimes we have some trouble with left side, right side, so that's why we chose to have this example be kind of mirrored. If you need to rewrite it for yourself and write 2 parentheses 3x plus 4 equals 68, that's okay because that's an equal sign. So you can do it either way. Next step, now I have a two-step equation. That's what we're looking for. Next step, I'm going to subtract 8 on both sides. So we can show our work for that. I'm going to do minus 8 here. And if I do that here, I have to do it on the other side the same way. So this is going to be 60 equals 6x. And then our final step is going to be divide by 6 on both sides. So when I do that, I show divide with a fraction, divide by 6, divide by 6. I need to always be cognizant of fraction means divide. 6x divided by 6, I get x. 60 divided by 6, I get 10. So this is our solution or our answer here. We should also check that too. Go back to the original. The right side has our variable there, so I'm going to say 2 parentheses 3. And then we'll replace x with 10. So inside there, that'll be 3 times 10 plus 4. Okay, 3 times 10 is 30 plus 4. Doing them one step at a time using order of operations. 30 plus 4 is 34. And there's a 2 here, so this is 2 times 34. We do get 68, and that makes both sides of the equation true then. They equal each other.